Hi there, my name is Greg Lloyd and welcome to the first of many videos to help you become a better musician. I'm going to show and share with you all some of the tips and tricks that I've picked up over the last 25 years working as a professional pianist and teacher throughout the world with these videos that I'm preparing. This video is going to talk about what a chord is and what chord inversions are, plus get you playing some common patterns, some common progressions or some songs. You will be playing some very popular tunes by the end of this video. So let's get going. Okay, so what is a triad? When we put these three notes together, like for here I've written C, E and G, okay? I'm going to play them on the piano so you can hear them. Play them all together. And you get the C major triad, okay? Now this one here has a very happy sound, alright? As you can hear, very happy, write the word there, happy, because it's very important, because it sort of makes the chord what it is, alright? So you might see it often written like above the music stave and things with a, just like this with a C like that, okay? So that's the triad of the major. So we're going to go over, we're going to add an E flat in, alright? So the E flat now, hear it there, C, alright? It instantly creates a sadder sort of sound there. So that's on C, E flat and G. So you have your major, here's your major, and here's your minor. Alright, so you can hear the difference there, okay? So C, E flat and G, and it's usually written with a C, M-I-N, alright? Or you could see it sometimes with a C with a line, alright? And that's more of the classical people would sort of look at it this way a bit more, and the jazzers and the blues people would look at it this way. Okay, so that's what a triad is. Now we're going to move on to what inversions are. Okay, so the term inversion, alright? Inversion. Or inversions. It means another way to play the chord, alright? So, like literally that, okay? So here we have our C major triad, okay? So it's made up of C, E and G. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this note, I'm going to put this note up the top, alright? So I'm going to, this is middle C, I'm going to move it up the octave. So it's going to go E, G and C, alright? So you can see that it now creates a new sound with the, alright, you see that there? So here's your root position. Now move that note up top again. You can hear it there, okay? So that's called first inversion. First inversion. Okay, first inversion, or could be written with an NIV like that, okay? First inversion. So we're going to do that again. Alright, we're going to move this guy here, we're going to move him up the octave, like that. So we're going to go G, C, and E. Alright, so this is what it sounds like. Okay, second inversion, we're going to call it this guy, second inversion. I was going to go NIV, if that's okay. Second inversion. Okay, so if you look, it's fair to say that there's three ways to play a major triad. You've got your root position, which is here. I'm going to write down here, just put root position, which is this guy here. Alright? And then we got our first inversion. And we got our second inversion. And then it moves up the octave again, and it repeats exactly the same chord that you started with. This guy here, it's in root position again. Alright? So it's really only three ways to play it, and this keeps repeating, but it moves up the scale, if you like, or up the octaves of the piano. Okay, so that's what inversions are. Now, what's really interesting is that this is only for one chord, and later on in videos, I'm going to explain, how to use some inversions and move around the inversions while you're playing some songs. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain what all the chords are in the key of C. We all know how to play a C major scale on the piano, alright? There it is there, okay? Okay, so it's a normal C major scale on the piano. So I'm just going to write that here, alright? This C major scale on the piano. So C, D, F, G, A, B, alright? And the octave. We're not going to be too worried about the octave for today, alright? So we're going to do this all in root position, by the way. We're not going to worry about the inversions and stuff until later, alright? So root position. Okay, so we're going to start with this guy here, the very first chord in the key of C. So we're going to play that triad we did there before, C, E, and G, okay? So there it is there. Nice and simple, alright? So if you move up that scale with that chord shape on the piano, alright, it's pretty handy, alright? So if we go like this to here, see that there, okay? So what I'm playing on the next one there is D, F, and A, alright? So that guy there becomes 1, right? That becomes C major, as we know. This guy here becomes D minor, okay? Now I'm going to use the lines because I like the lines, but remember you can also use it, the M-I-N, okay? Like that, okay? So that guy is there. So D minor, there it is there, alright? If we move it up to the next one, there it is there. You've got E minor, alright? So that guy's E minor. Then you've got F major for the next one. That's what it sounds like. Okay, and then you've got G major for the next guy. And then you've got A minor for the next guy. And then you've got B diminished after that guy, okay? We're going to talk about him a bit later, alright? So let me finish writing these guys in. So you've got F, you've got G, you've got A minor, then you've got B minor with a flattened fifth, alright? Or another thing that could be called B diminished. Diminished, alright? B diminished. We're going to worry about him a bit later, alright? But today we're just going to really look at these guys here, these 6 chords, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So this is what they sound like when you play them. You got C, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and the last one's B diminished. Alright, and we come back to the top. There it is there, and that's the last one up here, alright? And that's just really this guy repeated up the octave, alright? So there are all your chords that are in the key of C, okay? That's pretty easy in this key. Later on, when you start adding flats and sharps with the, it starts to get a little bit harder, alright? But don't be too worried about all that stuff just for now. These are all the chords that exist in the key of C. But the next step is, now that we have all the chords in the key of C, we're going to use some Roman numerals to give them a number, alright? It's just a way that a lot of musicians use to analyze chords and chord patterns, which we're going to discuss in a minute, is that we use the Roman numerals, alright? So it's just that's chord 1, okay? This guy's chord 2, D minor is chord 2, alright? E minor is chord 3, okay? Then you've got your 4, then you've got your 4 for F, then you've got your 5 for G, then you've got your 6 for A minor, and you get your 7 for B minor, for B diminished. Okay, so a really good thing to remember would be like that 1 is major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, 7 is diminished. Okay, it's really because that happens in every key later on. All right, so it's a really thing to remember: major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. So major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. It'd be a really handy thing to remember because it helps you move it into the other keys for later. Obviously, this is all in root position, like I mentioned before. Okay, so this would work with the inversions, like first inversion and in second inversion. And but we're not going to talk about that for today because I just want to leave it all in root position because I want to show you how to write some rock songs and play some rock songs in root position. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how these chords work. So these are really cool because all songs use chords. Okay, so some songs have one chord, and then some other more complex music would move into you know, loads of chords and loads of key changes and stuff. But with the rock songs and stuff, they tend to use common patterns, you know, throughout many of the rock songs. All right, so I'm going to give away a few of them for today. All right, so you can fiddle around with the piano or the guitar if you, or whatever. So I wouldn't be too worried about the fingering to start with. Okay, so for this exercise anyway, we're just gonna stick with sort of 1, 3, 5. Okay, so your thumb will always be on these notes here. All right, and you're just gonna move up the piano like this, around like this. All right, so I'm going to give you some common chord patterns for today. All right, some common chord patterns, meaning some common songs. All right. So, say for instance, if I was to say like 2-5, for instance, you know, what would that be? It would be this guy and it would be this guy, right? So why don't we do like a bar of each, all right? We're going to go 4-4, and we're going to repeat this guy over and over, all right? Sorry it's so squashed in, I've got a bit of limited space going on here. So 4-4, so we're going to do 4 beats each. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to, so 2 would be D minor, and 5 would be G, okay? So check this out, alright? So I'm going to go 1, I'm going to play, first we'll get the chord. Here it is there. There's your D minor chord, and then here's your G major chord. I'm going to count in a bar here, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay, 3, 4. Okay, so what you could do with your left hand is on the piano anyway, you could just play a single root note down the bottom, so it sound like this. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Playing 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's kind of how I want you to do this exercise, alright? It's just with a single, so you're going to use this note here, will become your left hand literally, alright? So he's going to play like one note, C, C, D, D minor, E, E minor, that kind of thing, alright? So, so 2-5 is a very common one. Can anybody out there tell me what that sounds like? So please leave your comments please down below. I'm going to give you another one, alright? 1-4 is very popular as well. Again, 4-4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4-4. So what would that be? C and F. And excuse me, I should have written in before for you. D minor, G. C and F. So check this one out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to play it properly with the left hand. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to move on to the third chord progression, the 1, 6, 2, 5. So what will that be? That will be 1 would be C, 6 would be A minor, 2 would be D minor, and then a G. Alright, so let's have a listen to that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, C, 3 to an A minor, 2, 3, 4 to a D minor, 3, 4 to a G, 2, 3. So this next one I'm about to give you, okay, is the big whammy. I like to call it to all my students because it's a lot of rock songs out there are using this one. 1, 5, 6, 4. 1, 5, 6, 4. Okay, so 1, 5, 6, 4. So what's that? It's going to be C. It's going to be 5, which will be a G, and then you've got an A minor, and then you've got an F. C, G, A minor, F. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. Okay, I'll play it again so you can hear it. So does it sound like anything? If it does, please feel free to write your comments below. I'd love to hear some responses out there about this, okay? Because I'm going to give away a few hints in a minute, but that is used everywhere, this guy. And what kind of happens is they kind of swap the instruments and they kind of put in a bit of rapping maybe, or put in a different melody. So there's 4 progressions for you to get started. So that's it for this video. Could you answer me 2 quick questions, please? The first question is, what would you like me to cover in the next video? And the second question is, what is the single most important problem you have when you are trying to play a rock song or work out a rock song from a recording or from YouTube or whatever? And if you could leave your answers to these questions in the comment area below, that would be awesome. If you did like the video and would like to receive emails about the next videos and other things to come on the website. If you're already here, then thanks heaps, and I hope that the videos are helping you out. So, take it easy and we'll see you in the next video.